What's up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new episode of the Bonsai Network podcast. This time around, we're going to be doing something a little bit different than our normal format. I've got an interview coming up here with a good buddy of mine, Andrei Bessonov. He is a young Russian bonsai professional. He actually just finished a 6-year apprenticeship at Masahiko Kimura's nursery in Japan. So want to throw out a congratulations to Andrei for finishing in May of this year, for sticking it out, making it all the way through. But I sat down with Andrei over Zoom today, and we had a nice conversation about his time in Japan, what it was like working for Mr. Kimura as an apprentice, what it was like setting up for the Kokufu, sort of the behind the scenes kind of things, and then some of his good and bad experiences through that whole process. So hope you guys enjoy this episode of the podcast. I want to make sure that you understand Andrei obviously is not a native English speaker, so it may be a little bit difficult to understand him sometimes, but what I recommend you do is actually check out the video cast version of this podcast. You can actually see him speaking on camera over Zoom, so it'll be a little bit easier to understand. And I want to apologize in advance. The audio quality on Zoom is not the best in the world, but I tried to edit it as well as I could to bring out the quality to as best a degree as was possible. So hopefully you guys enjoy this episode. Make sure to like and subscribe, leave a comment down below, and enjoy the interview with Andrei Bessonov. Okay, so I am here with the one and only Andrei Bessonov from Russia. How are you doing today, Andrei?
Thanks so much. I'm fine, and it's rainy day, but everything is going fine. Just came back from Tochigi Prefecture, and feel very good.
Okay, so you were up in Tochigi working with Fujikawa-san, right?
Yes, Mr. Fujikawa, Masahiko Fujikawa. You know, he took a Prime Minister Award of Sakufu Bonsai exhibition in 2017, right?
Okay, so he's your senpai, right? He studied also at Mr. Kimura's nursery?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, excellent. So we'll get into talking a little bit about Mr. Kimura a little bit later in the podcast here, but I think to start out with, it's going to be best maybe to have you kind of introduce yourself a little bit, tell everybody where you're from originally, and then how you got interested in bonsai.
Okay, so hello to everybody who watching us. So my name is Andrei, and I'm now young Russian professional bonsai artist. So I started to interested in bonsai art when I was 12 years old, and when I was 16, I first time visit Japan, and from 18 years old, I am start to learn bonsai with Mr. Masahiko Kimura. So I'm his apprentice, and now I'm just 24 years old. So
it's still a baby.
For bonsai, right?
That's right. But you actually originally went to Japan when you were very, very young, though, right?
Yes, I was 16 when I first time visit Japan. So reason why I came here for the first time, it was studying Japanese language, So I worked with in my place. So I'm directly from Vladivostok, not from Vladivostok, near from Vladivostok. It's a village, Garonki village. So it takes 2 hours by car from Vladivostok. So it's when you tell name of my village, nobody don't understand where is it. It's just to say Vladivostok is much easier. So in my place it was difficult to have some bonsai because it's too cold, and outside is dangerous for trees. It's because winter is just killing everything outside. So and I was in good relationship with botanical garden in Vladivostok, so they support me to keep my collections there, and they give me idea to spend the best summer vacation in Japan for studying language. And in my mind was like Japan languages, so why not about bonsai? I can find something new about bonsai, right? So then I asked my good friend Andrei Dorosenkov, who is a Russian bonsai artist from Moscow. And he introduced myself to Mr. Yoshihiro Nakamizu, who is artist or who is owner of Bonsai Network Japan company. And Mr. Nakamizu support me to work with Kato family, Mansai and Bonsai Garden in Omiya, you know. And I was just for 3 months in Mansai-en, and during this time I stay in the house of Mr. Nakamizu, and he is introduced to me, like bonsai world. He introduced myself to Mr. Kimura, to Mr. Kawabe, to Shibata-san in Shizuoka, and he showed me a lot of some small nurseries and interesting places in bonsai.
Okay, so while you were there during that period, did you at that time start to think that you wanted to actually do a full apprenticeship in Japan?
No, it was like it was like unbelievable for me. For in Russia, you don't have any bonsai art, So, and when I told to my mother that maybe in future I will be like bonsai artist and work with bonsai, and she told me like, what, what do you mean? What is bonsai? Yes, she saw pictures. She saw like I'm happy in Japan and something like, and it's amazing trees. She understand it, but bonsai and job, it's was unbelievable in Russian. It's unbelievable in mind of everybody Russian guy, So, and my idea was just trying little by little what I can do now. So when I was 16, I worked with Masahiko, met with Mr. Kimura. Then I thought maybe we can try to spend next summer vacation with Mr. Kimura. And Mr. Nakamizu also asked him about it. And Mr. Kimura told, okay, I can come into his garden for 3 months when I was 17. So it was also a nice experience, and it it was yes, he wasn't strict like for me, like for apprentice. He just showed me inside from his garden what is it, something to be apprentice. And he's always get like some challenge to everybody who want to learn bonsai with him. And I didn't understood it, didn't understand it. So when I came to his garden, it took maybe 1 month. So then he came to me and told, "No, I don't want apprentice like you." And I was just 17, not full apprenticeship, just
Right.
for 3 months. Yes, and he told me, okay, he will just keep me for next 2 months till the end of August, and then I can going back to Japan and never coming again to his garden. So it was shock for me.
Yeah, that's very harsh.
That's really hard, it was like it was really stressful because why, and you don't understand why, because for me like when you can, in my imagine it was like you come into Japan and Mr. Kimura will explain you like in university what is it bonsai, but he just coming, he just give you work, you can do it or you cannot do it, it's nothing for him, it's your problem. And if you learn, you can do it. If you don't learn, you cannot do everything. So in my mind was I didn't speak Japanese well in this time. I just started to learn it, and it was like some words of Japanese and more English. So just mixed it and tried to communicate with everybody inside of garden. So during this time, one of his apprentices was Mr. Hiroaki Suzuki.
That's the son of Shinji Suzuki, right?
Yes, that's right. So I came to him and told, it doesn't matter for me what I will do. Just tell me what to do, and I will do it. I will do everything. And he told yes, it's okay. So and and last 2 months with Mr. Kimura, so Suzuki-san every day told to me what to do. Like it's not work about only bonsai, It's just clean this place, cut this garden trees because it's too huge. Clean this place, clean this place. Just about like cleaning, small detail, always cleaning, and change something like what I can, and try to do more work, which mean not with bonsai, cleaning, directly cleaning.
That's the life of an apprentice.
That's all life of 6 years apprenticeship, cleaning, cleaning, and cleaning. Yes, but so and Mr. Kimura during his smoking, right? Uh, he saw at me like, oh, he didn't told, but I think he's out. He told to no, he didn't told to me. He told to Mr. to Suzuki-san like, oh, he's trying to work. He's trying to do what he can, and he's trying to do more than time give to me. I just stay in garden after everybody going back to home, and I stay maybe more 1, 2, 3 hours in garden, and he know about it. And after before I leave Japan, he asked me maybe I want to be professional bonsai artist in future, and it was it was really shocked for me because what does he mean? Just 2 months ago, Mr. Kimura told to leave his garden, and after 1 month, he asked me to be apprenticeship. So it's isn't crazy. So okay, and what I can tell to him, I just told him I will thinking about it. So he asked me again twice, and twice time I told, just give me time, please, and I will thinking about it. Just I didn't told no, I didn't told yes, because it's when you say you will do something, you should do it directly in Japan. So I but finally, yes, of course, I told to him that I want to be his apprentice. That's right, because I can go anytime to university when I will 30, 40 years old, and maybe more old. I can use the chance. But Mr. Kimura is he's old guy, right? And I saw maybe it's a life change in the life to be apprentice of a person who is the best in my mind in the bonsai, right? I love his bonsai, and yes, I told yes to him. But before I leave, he told me again. Just he give me 1 month, and I can think it again when I will be in Russia. And after 1 month, so I I must give him a final answer about what I will do after finish school. So and I told yes again. So I will come in and learn bonsai with him.
Okay, and what year or how old were you at this point when you actually decided to come back and become a full apprentice at Mr. Kimura's nursery?
Yes, I was 17, and you know 17, and from 18, yes, I started my apprenticeship with him.
Oh, that's crazy. That's very young. That's very rare these days, I think, for a Westerner to do that. I mean, in the past, most of the big nurseries in Japan, they wanted people to start right after high school while they were still very young. So you did it more in sort of a traditional Japanese way. But for most foreigners who go to Japan and study, they tend to start after university. So you did it the opposite way, basically.
Yeah, yeah, it was also great. Yes, it was a really great experience. Maybe it was best way because I had a chance to see just a little bit what is it bonsai before I start in full apprenticeship. Because during my apprenticeship to Mr. Kimuras came maybe 3 new guys, and they live with his guardian maybe around 1 month.
Did Mr. Kimura kick them out, or did they leave because they couldn't take it?
No, Mr. Kimura never leave everybody. Never leave his apprentice. So they go out by themselves.
They just couldn't handle the work, I guess.
Yes, it's too hard. It's really hard and crazy because it's yes, it's a lot of fun. Of course, it's a lot of fun. It's really interesting. Uh, just for example, during Kokufu time, it's really crazy. Anyway, it's really hard, but it's really great time. And like exhibitions, like work with great trees and see good bonsai every day. So it's amazing, but you know, uh, it's stressful. It's stressful for Japanese and then stressful for us like foreigners, right? Right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So what was like a typical day in the life of an apprentice at Mr. Kimura's nursery? Like what time in the morning did you start? How long did you work? What type of work would you do besides cleaning during the day?
So they starting from 9 a.m. So you come into the garden around this time, and start there of course from cleaning, and we are separate the garden for three places, and three apprentices including me of course. We are clean just our parts. For example, I can clean garden place, I can clean and workplace. The other places will clean as apprentice. So then we're cleaning, and when Mr. Kimura coming around 10 a.m. or sometimes earlier, and he give to us some work or something what he want to do, and or just and if it's just and you watering in morning time, right? And if you have some free time before lunch, 12 a.m. Uh, we are work with bonsai trees, right? So from 12 to 1 p.m. We are just have 1 hour to take a lunch and rest. So then we are starting again, and around 3 p.m. it's like a break for tea time, and then we are working again. Uh, we are working again till 7 p.m. Then we're coming back to the apartment, cooking and eating dinner and rest for 2 hours, right? And we are going back again to work at 9 p.m.
Wow.
Yes, and we are work around 2 hours or more if you want, or if you need. And this typical day for apprentices. It's night time is always the work time for work with bonsai. During all day, you can work with do something in garden, uh, to do something with Mr. Kimura, like help him support to his work or something like this. And just if you have some your time, your like a free time, you can work with wiring trees or something like this. That's all. Full time you are help to Mr. Kimura or do some other work what he give you. It's not about bonsai just. It's
Of
not just about
course.
bonsai.
Of course, yeah. There's always more layers involved than just working on trees. I think that's a misconception that people have. Everybody knows you got to do some cleaning in addition to working on trees, but there's also, like you said, working on the garden trees, taking out the trash, doing everything that needs to, make the nursery operate smoothly. Like that's the job of the apprentices. So how many apprentices were there while you were an apprentice?
First 2 years it was all two guys without me, right? Mr. Hiroaki Suzuki and Mr. Nakamura.
Nakamura.
Yes, Mr. Nakamura. So Mr. Suzuki was top. second Mr. Nakamura, and youngest me, senpai, and I'm youngest kohai.
So as you moved into your apprenticeship, I know that there was another foreigner who came to study at Mr. Kimura's too, right? A guy from Italy. Is that correct?
Yes, and he came between me and Alessandro from Italy. Between me and him is just 2 years, right? So yes, Alessandro, Italian guy. He's working hard.
Yeah, every time I go to Mr. Kimura's place and I see his face, he looks like he's on the verge of death.
It's it's yeah yes it's difficult to keep to keep in smiling always.
Of course.
Yes. But anyway, he will smile, don't worry. So he's really kind, and he's focused a lot on bonsai and creating, studying with Mr. Kimura. For him, it was also beginning is really hard. Maybe first first year in of apprenticeship was maybe most stressful time for him, and I'm also reason about his stress because I was his senpai, right? And to teach somebody, it's always difficult. And for me, it was always maybe first 2 years. It was always stressful because not just about working with Mr. Kimura. It's about traditional Japanese culture, like etiquette or something like this, because you don't understand it and you don't want to do mistakes. And if you got mistakes, they can say, okay, it was the first time, but for the second time, it's really difficult. It's with Mr. Kimura, but he's to his garden coming a lot of professional Japanese artists as a professional artist to visit him, and customers. And if you do some mistakes in front of customer, it's it's なんだっけ、恥ずかしい.
Embarrassing.
Yes, thanks so much for Mr. Kimura, and it's always getting stressed, but it's always also learning. And another, like, I think, a shock for everybody who coming to Japan, I think, to learn bonsai, because it's you must do any work what Mr. Kimura say to you. For example, painting, painting some stuff into garden to make it beautiful. And when you do it for you're thinking, fuck, what I'm doing here? Just I came here to study bonsai, and I touch maybe bonsai just for some hours a day, and I must do this work. So what is the reason? You're thinking for this time, it's getting too stress for you. So time goes on, and Mr. Kimura is explaining not just to be a good artist in bonsai, right? He's explaining he want he's teach you how to be a good person and how to do everything, because for example, I'm starting from zero. I cannot pay for something like for everything in the beginning, right?
Right.
For it when I will create my own garden, I cannot. I think it's. I don't. Yes, I'm sure it's difficult to pay for everything, and a lot of job. But what I learned from Mr. Kimura, I can do now in my own bonsai garden to make tables for bonsai, to to prepare the ground at the bonsai, to take care about my workplace, to create my workplace. I don't say that I can build up a new house. It's it's not my work, but some small things which is also important, I can do by myself, and I can do everything by myself.
It builds your confidence.
Yes, that's right. Yes, it's what just when Mr. Kimura start his apprenticeship, no, when he finished his apprenticeship, he's he doesn't have money, he doesn't have everything. So for the first years, his history, he started from other business.
What was the other business?
Yes, you know about it.
No, tell me about it.
So he started from uh, to sell like apartment flowers, something like this, in Azabujuban in Tokyo, near of Roppongi area, and it's place with rich guys, and somebody give him just a place for the free that he can use it for the shop, and he used this place and sold a lot of flowers and get money by this work. So into his garden was he took some plants, bring it to a shop and get money and sell it. So second business was he sold soil, and he get money again. And then when he was it was maybe 40 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And then just when he was 30 years old, I think, 30
Mm-hmm.
years old, he started his own bonsai art. He started to work with bonsai. He put this money to buy his place, to buy bonsai in the beginning, and then he's just starting to work with bonsai again as professional bonsai artist.
Right. So he originally did, I think, was it 11-year apprenticeship? Is that correct?
11 years, yes. 11
Yeah.
years.
So yeah, 11-year apprenticeship, and then when he finished that, he started selling flowers, and then he started selling soil, and then he saved enough money to buy the place that he has now and start the nursery. That's fascinating.
Yes, that's right. And in when he finished apprentice in directly in Japan, it was difficult to get money with by bonsai, right?
Right.
And Mr. Kimura is always do his best, and he did everything to to get this life. And then little by little, he's one of the most famous bonsai artists, not only in Japan and in other countries too.
Yeah, I would say he's not one of the most. I'd say he's probably the most famous.
That's
Yeah,
right.
he is the big boss, as we said earlier. So
He's big boss. Yes, yes. But he's during for apprentices during apprenticeship. Yes, he's really strict. It's like, well, he never
like he doesn't yell.
Yes, he just get some like pressure to you,
Ah,
and he's really strict, but he's explain work. He's show you how to do something, uh, uh, and anyway, he's kind for everybody. He's kind, and he's really kind and nice person, but when I know Mr. Kimura, like his friends was in the beginning, like, right, and during my apprenticeship, it was like two different guys. After 3 months of apprenticeship, it was two different guys moved. It's like, what the hell?
it's like Jekyll and Hyde.
Yes, and during work, yes, he's angry, like he's working faster, working better. So what the shit you are doing? Yes, he's coming to to you during the work. What are you fucking doing? Do it much prettier. Do it better. And you don't understand. And then he leave you, and nobody don't kind of, and you don't know what to do. But I was lucky with Mr. Suzuki, right? With Hiraki Suzuki. He's explained to me these small details, like, right?
Oh no, I understand. I've heard that Mr. Kimura doesn't like to talk very much, so and that was true of my teacher Fujikawa-san as well. He didn't like to necessarily teach outright. He would give you a tree and then expect you to do it, and then Fujikawa-san was good about coming back and explaining what you did wrong. But it sounds like Mr. Kimura just told you did wrong. Figure it out on your own.
Yes, if in good mood, he will explain you details. But if he's getting like really angry, no, Mr. Suzuki-san, excuse me, excuse me again and again. Can you help me, please? And of course, Mr. Suzuki support me and explain me everything what he can, what is possible for him, right? And it was really, I was really lucky, because Mr. Suzuki understand like English and but he don't speak English, and he support me to explain like to translate to support me with communicating in the beginning with Mr. Kimura and explain the work in my beginning, right? So it was maybe much easier for me. And of course, he's explained some details about culture, what Mr. Kimura like and what he's hate. So I really appreciate this help.
So, on a day-to-day basis, were you working with Mr. Kimura every single day? Was he coming out and working with you guys? Okay. So he's still putting his hands on the trees every day, making trees every day.
Every day he's working with bonsai. It's every day he's touch bonsai minimal for 2 hours in day. So so he's also working with us, and he can explain work and do something. In his gardens, he's create like most difficult part of work, and then he change some points of tree, like restyle it, and then he give you to wire to wire small branches to wire more details to all details and make a final shape. But we have also chance to support him during this work also. When he do some like his crazy bendings or something like this, we are support for it. And of course, if you do it like smoothly, right? Like he's glad, and he explain more work to you. But if you're wrong during this work, and you try again and again, he tell no more, no more.
Go away, leave me alone.
Go, leave me alone, please, for the time. Yes, and yes, it's not just like stressful. He's always saying no. He's always kidding, like when he's pruning branches and you help him to clean tree, he he put scissors to your fingers and try to cut it. Just kidding, just kidding. He's not cut. Just put scissors on your fingers.
Just to teach you a lesson.
Yes. And he asked me, what happened? Something happened? Oh, I saw it. It was garbage. I'm sorry.
Oh, you always have to be on your guard. You always have to be aware.
Yes. But it's his joke, right? And when you help to to prune branches with Mr. Kimura, and he tell you like cut this branch, and this branch, and you do it. So I did just once. I did this mistake, Sasheda.
Mm-hmm. The directional branch.
Yes, directional branch. So he told me just cut off this branch, and this branch. And I asked him again about this branch, Sasheda. Well, can I cut it? So like this. Okay. Are you sure? Cut it. And then what happened? What the hell? And he told near branch with Sashieda.
So not the actual sashieta. He wanted you to cut a branch next to it.
No, the other branch, near branch, not this branch.
Oh my god.
Oh shit! Oh my god! It it was not. It was the second time when I saw angry Mr. Kimura. It was, oh shit! What I did. He was really angry. Really angry. Yes, he was. He didn't told everything. It was like like again, like leave me alone.
It was more. Did he yell at you, or did he just make it feel like he was very disappointed in you?
No, he just make me feel disappointed, like I did something wrong.
That hurts worse than getting yelled at, I think.
Yeah, and during 1 week, I know during 2 weeks, he put this tree in front of workplace, and every day he thought, "Oh, I need to change this shit." You know what you did?
That's like a stab in the heart.
Yes, yes. Now I laughing about it, but no, it's also it's also nice memories. But but it was nice learning. Like Mr. Kimura also changed his tree best as he can without this point branch.
Right.
Yes, but it was second time when I first time saw Mr. Kimura is angry. First time was a really really crazy moment. So we saw the place when place with Mr. Kimura, right?
Yes.
In the other side of his place, you can see some apartment.
Right.
Directly the side of his garden, and it's the apartment for apprentices. So in front of this apartment, we have we have momiji, right? Maple. And I and then beginning of my apprenticeship, I saw, wow, it's really beautiful. I want something like this tree. And it's really pretty leaves. And I thought, okay, I can make uh, how I can say it, toriki in English,
Air layer.
airline. So I did it for this tree.
Without asking permission?
Right, that's right. And this tree, in Japan, it's they don't have a wall between the places. So I saw this place, this tree of government or something like this, of this tree of countries. Nobody's owner. So it just this single moment was tree of the guy from the other side of Mr. Kimura.
Mm.
And he saw this. I didn't. He came to he. I did it in early morning, so he came to my way and told, "What are you doing? What are you doing with my tree?"
Oh no.
Oh my god! So I just tried to apologize in front of him. So it was nothing, and it was old Japanese guy. Maybe his name. His name Kiguchi, Miss Kiguchi-san. I met him next time, so it was difficult then to be his friend, maybe for 2 years.
Oh wow. Did he make you take the air layer off, or did you get to keep it on?
I keep it on and just keep it, and then no more, no more, no more work. So then in the same day he came to, yes, he's 80 years old, same age with Mr. Kimura guy, and he was really angry for me, right? He was like, fuck, what are you doing? This didn't explain me what I did was this. I think something wrong in English, not Japanese.
Oh
In
no.
English. It was really crazy. So then he came to Mr. Kimura's garden and told about it. And I saw it, and it was really stressful for me because I know why he came.
Right.
So Mr. Kimura, so then Mr. Kimura get from his office directly to workplace. I work with something free. Mr. Kimura open doors of workplace, like bam, and say my name, Andrei.
Oh no.
Really, really high, Andrei. So Mr. Suzuki is Suzuki-san is watering trees in front of garden. He's was surprised, came to my way. He asked just, what happened? What happened? And he's explained what happened. And Mr. Suzuki, he's tried to turn this situation in joke with Mr. Kimura.
Did it
Tried
work?
to make yes, it's work. He did it perfectly. And he's just laughing about it. So because maybe it's not funny for everybody, but now it's funny,
Yeah, you can look back on it and laugh a little bit.
Yes. But we also have moments like this.
All right. Okay, so you mentioned earlier that one of your favorite times of the year was the Kokufu season, working on trees for the Kokufu. What was that like, preparing all of the trees for the exhibition?
It's beginning is difficult because as usual work is difficult than it's difficult with usual work, right? So Mr. Kimura, to his garden coming a lot of old trees which have old shaped branches, and thinking of Mr. Kimura to show for Kokufu customers, it's like all the beauty of Japanese bonsai. And one of the most difficult was to wiring it without wire, to start without wire as much as possible, because he wants to save a lot of branches without wire and show the natural lines of branches. And it was the most difficult things. So of course, Mr. Kimura create and how I can say in English, like なんか引っ張ってダメ、引っ張ったところも全部ダメだから。
So like guy wires. You can't have guy wires on the tree for the show.
Yes, that's right. Thanks so much. Yes, he cannot do it, and he do some different technique, which you cannot see from the front of bonsai, and he keep much bonsai as much as possible natural. And this is the reason why trees for Kokufu prize came to his garden much earlier than other trees, or before 1, 2, or 3 years, and then he is slowly preparing it, to show it as much, to show the beauty as much as possible without wire, without any techniques, because it's his philosophy of Kokufu, what we are doing. But usual work, we are preparing shape of trees, cleaning it, reporting it. Reporting is crazy, really crazy. It's around every year we report around like 40 huge trees, something like
And
this.
these are trees that are going into the Kokufu, right?
That's right. Yes, we are putting into antique bonsai pots, which Mr. Kimura have in his collection, and so for 1 or 2 days, coming the senpai, all apprentices, right? All these apprentices like Mr. Taiga Shibata, Masayuki Fujikawa, Mr. Moriyama, Yoshiko Moriyama, and they're coming and help us to do this reporting. It's really hard, but it's a really good time to learn a lot of things. when senpai come into to this work, they explain a lot of things to use, like small details, like during reporting, when they sell something wrong, do it better, better, and always better. And when they come again in next year and next time, and you try to show that you learn and you understand, and if they see it, they explain more to you. It's really it's also stressful during work, but it's really uh, make you feel it's amazing when they appreciate you, they appreciate what you what how you try to learn, and it's really pleasure to learn things from guys who have a long experience in the bonsai.
Right. No, that's very cool. I didn't realize that all of the older apprentices come back to help with that. I knew that they helped load the trees into the exhibition and take the trees out, but I didn't realize that they came to help repot the trees and moss the trees and get everything prepped and ready.
And then when Kokufu exhibition is finished, in next day we put back all trees again to normal pots, right? To usual pots.
Oh wow, you have to put everything back.
Yes, put all trees back, and in next day after Kokufu is finished, everybody tired.
Is there ever any problems with the trees once you move them back into the containers? Is there ever a problem with the trees becoming weak?
Yes, some trees getting weak, just maybe in 60 trees, just one or two getting a little bit weak, and not just getting weak. Every getting weak, right? But no, we keep it inside of greenhouse. During it will get better. So, but during my 6 years, not any tree is dead. And how about branches? Yes, it's some new leaves is getting maybe like なんだっけ全部芽咲かないね。
Ah, so sometimes the leaves come out during the show, sometimes they don't come out after the show.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, we have problems like this sometimes, but never kill the trees, never kill trees, never.
That's fascinating. I didn't realize how many trees you guys actually put in the show either. You said something like 50 or 60 each year?
Maximal was if 3 years ago was I think around 60 or 70 trees.
That's amazing.
This was crazy. So from Mr. Kimura, the other bonsai companies give him trees to preparing for Kokufu. So it just from his garden every year, we bring to Kokufu around 40, 50, 60 trees from directly from his garden, and maybe we get around Mr. Kimura get around 20, 30, or 50 trees from other nurseries.
Oh, wow.
So yes, inside I don't know, maybe I think that somebody joke, everybody now joking like it's not Kokufu 10, it's Kimura 10.
Oh, that's
It's really
hilarious.
true. Yes.
So you finished your apprenticeship this year in April, correct? It's 2020?
May. In
Oh,
the
in
end of
May.
May.
In May, okay. So you did a full 6 years at Mr. Kimura's nursery, right?
Yes.
Got your certification from the Japanese Bonsai Association. And then what are your plans now going forward? I know right now you're still stuck in Japan because of the coronavirus, but once all of this is over, what are your plans for the future going forward?
Of course, I want to build up my bonsai nursery.
In Russia?
Oh, I saw to do it in Russia for the first time, but during Corona time, when it's begin, I changed my mind. So maybe I think in the beginning it will be best way to open nursery. I think now it's maybe Germany, some place in Europe anyway. Now I think just about Germany. So inside of Europe, the European Union, and maybe then I will, and then or in the same time I want to open also nursery in Russia with somebody, any project to do with somebody, because it's difficult to do everything by yourself, right?
Sure.
So when I took interview with you, you give me advice, right? So in the beginning you work a lot like with demonstrations, workshops, private collection, and you get to, I think, any place all over the world. It was really hard,
Yeah.
And I think maybe I will do the same way in my beginning too, just to get money for nursery. And or maybe do it in the beginning with some partnership in Germany, right? They also have a great bonsai artists and bonsai enthusiasts and some bonsai community. So reason why I change why I don't want to do it in Russia in the beginning, because of politics. Because of politics systems, it's always changing into bad way.
Are you talking the government politics, or are you talking about bonsai politics?
I'm talking more about government politics. Yes. So it's about bonsai community. Yes, a lot of guys want to learn bonsai, and we have a lot of customers who want to buy bonsai, but they don't know about it. They just get information, just check the internet, and they cannot find anything. For in Moscow, just Valery Pitel, I think you know him. Only this guy bring Japanese bonsai trees to directly to Russia and sell it inside to directly in Moscow, right? So it's hard business, but it's not enough. It's in bonsai community, I think no problem. In government, the problem is government.
Getting the permits.
Yeah. Yes. It's really hard to do it directly from Japan. For example, if I will stay in Germany or in Italy, I can bring it directly to Europe Japanese bonsai too, and I can keep it in Germany, right? In Germany, these trees and easy bring it in, easy move it to Russia. But if I want to move some trees and do some business in Japan directly from Russia, directly with Russia and Japan, it's really hard. For example, you need to get something certificate to bring your trees inside of Russia. So then, as the guy who check it, how is
the inspector?
Yes, there's an inspector coming from Russia to Japan and checking all documents. And then it's everything okay. You can bring your trees to Russia. It spent a lot of money,
right?
And it spent a lot of time. So it's really crazy and uncomfortable. And it's it will just this moment is getting me crazy. And no, thank you.
No, I understand. Dealing with the government is always a pain in the ass.
It's always problem. It's all sort of problems, and do some business. It's all, of course, it's not so hard in Russia, I think, but it's not also comfortable because for example, during Corona in Japan, for businessmen, so for business directly, for bonsai companies, government also support with some money. Some they don't pay for like water, like a denki.
Electricity.
Thank you. electricity or something like this. So they support as much as possible for everybody in Japan. For example, I get from Japan Juman,
So about $1,000
$1,000 just for support from
during the coronavirus.
during coronavirus. In Russia, you cannot get everything. It's difficult to get any support from government. They don't support you in anything. So during Corona, I think you cannot go outside of your home. A lot of business, closed by this way, and everything like this. So too strict, too crazy, and there's also a reason why I tried to going back to Russia, but now I stopped to do it. I don't going back to Russia now because I worried to lock down inside of Russia.
Yeah, then you're stuck.
Yes, in Japan, for example, now in Japan, right? I have a time, so I was and I asked Mr. Masahiko Fujikawa, for example, to spend some days in his garden and some studying about some studying with him. So I can use this time for studying bonsai, for studying more about bonsai, for do some business inside of Japan, right? But if I'm going to back to Russia, what I can do next? Nothing, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So maybe I think maybe the Europe and Japan will be open faster than Russia. That's also a way why I can go easier to Europe next after Corona. Maybe I will get this way. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm hoping that the States opens back up soon too. So maybe next year, the following year, we can bring you over to Eisei-en to do some workshops with some people here.
Thanks so much. I will be glad to learn with you too.
I don't know if there's much I can teach you since you studied at Mr. Kimura's place, but at least we can make some good trees together.
Thanks so much. I really enjoyed this time, and I really enjoyed the time which we spent. Can you tell about it?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Yes. So if everybody thinking this like apprenticeship, it's always stressful or something like this. It's nothing like we are also. I think we met first time in Ueno, right? When
Yes.
it came during Taikan 10.
Right.
So thanks so much for this time, and I took day off, right? When I took day off, came to Ueno. You get me a hotel room. Thanks so much.
Hey, we better clarify. I didn't get you a hotel room with me. My wife and I were staying in the same hotel. We were operating a tour that year, and I was up in Tokyo with my wife at that point. So I invited you to come out and hang out with us, have dinner, have some drinks, and then it was too late for you to go all the way back up to Mr. Kimura's place. So we ended up just getting you a room at the same hotel so you could spend the night there, and then the next morning you got like the first train back up and got back to work.
Yes, yes. Thanks so much.
Yeah, definitely got to clarify that.
Yes, that's right. So it's also nice, amazing. It's not also nice. It's also nice, and yeah, thanks so much. It's fun, right? It's really fun. It's not about just working. I don't have a lot of bonsai friends like you, right? Like you and me. So with you, I can tell about everything, about not just about only bonsai, right? And I'm really glad that we understand each other during the talking. It's getting in some relax for me, right? Also, and I hope for you too.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
I hope meeting with me don't make you stressful.
No, not at all. No, I like hanging out with you, man. It just sucks that I'm not in Japan anymore, so we can't hang out over there. But like I said, at some point we'll bring you over here and do some workshops and hang out.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Cool. So yeah, so I think this is probably a good place to kind of wind down the interview. So why don't you tell everybody where they can see your work online, if you've got a website, say the website, or where they can find you on Facebook?
So everybody can find me in Facebook, Instagram, and see my new homepage. It's this moment just in Russian language, so it soon will get in to English too. So comfortable with everybody, and everybody can see also interview with you, Björn. So it will be in Russian. It's in Russian already, and in English too. And thanks so much for interview, right? Thank you again, right?
Yeah, no,
Thank you.
absolutely, man. So I'll put a link in the description on the podcast and on the video cast to your website and to your Facebook page as well, so people can get in touch with you there. And hopefully, once the virus stuff is over, you can start traveling around and teaching and doing workshops and meeting all the cool people in the rest of the bonsai world.
Yeah, I wish everybody just during this difficult time about Corona, just enjoy time to be with family and enjoy that time with bonsai.
Awesome. I think that's the best advice of the podcast right there. All right, man. Thank you very much for joining me on this episode, and I look forward to talking to you again in the future. All right.
Thanks so much, Björn.
All right. Take care.
I was glad to see you. Thanks so much.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thanks so much.